person has a story. A beginning, a middle, an end. Mine began in Princeton, New Jersey. Where it will end, who knows? Throughout this video, I will share who I was in the past, who I am in the present, and who I hope to become in the future. I was born January 4th as Nicole Ashley Taylor to John and Michelle. Now, I'm pretty sure I was the best baby that my parents ever had. I didn't even cry that one time Dad managed to get me stuck in between the toilet and the sink while he was taking a shower. Yup, those were the best days of my life, all alone with just Mom and Dad. Then, at the age of 2, we moved to Nixon, Missouri, where my little sister Hannah was born. This is Hannah. My earliest memory of her is her crying hysterically at the bottom of the stairs as I was standing at the top. Obviously, I was meant to be a big sister. I even used to get her to steal cookies out of the cookie jar. She would go and get them, bring them to me. I would eat them and not give her a single one. It was a pretty good setup. Pretty soon, our partnership grew into a gang when Jake was born. Now that she was an older sister as well, Hannah stopped listening to me, and poor Jake had to choose sides between Hannah and Nicole. Oftentimes, it was Hannah and Jacob playing Barbies inside while I was outside conquering dragons in the woods that surrounded our house. Even going into school, I was a bit of a tomboy. School was fun though. My favorite subjects were science and writer's workshop. Oddly enough, those are still my two favorite things to learn about in school. During those younger school years, I got another brother, Matthew. Because I was so much older than he was when he was born, 8 years, we have a special relationship. He's my baby, and I would do anything for him. Not long after Matthew was born, we moved to Pinckney. I was going into the 5th grade. Moving to Pinckney changed me a lot. At the time, I hated it. Now I thank God that we did come to Pinckney. Without this little town, I would not be who I am today. Today, I'm a senior at Pinckney New Tech High School. I'm currently involved in many activities: youth group, NHS, Key Club, track, marching band, piano, ski team, and work, just to name a few. However, most people already know what I do. Most people know I'm a good student, a die-hard skier, a band geek. So I thought I would tell what most people do not know about who I am today. First off, I'm an author. I love reading and I love writing. As a child, I'd hoped to already publish a novel by now. Well, I'm not that far, but I do have 2 poems published. One's in this book. I like to read all kinds of books, from fantasy to mystery. If I had all the time in the world, I'd try and read every book in the world. Also, I'm pretty artsy. Surprised? I love painting, and I spend hours at a time scrapbooking in my room. I find those design shows on HGTV hugely entertaining, and I even make my own soap with my sister. Now, I don't know how other high schoolers feel, but I certainly feel that all this time in the present is focused on my future. If I hear one more person ask where I want to go to college, I'm going to lose my mind. For someone who fears the future and what it may bring, this causes a lot of anxiety, all this preparing. Still, I do hold my own hopes for what the future will bring. The future is a scary place, but I'm hoping it turns out wonderful. I have 4 main goals for the rest of my life: go to college, to travel the world, to make a difference, and to raise a family. This is a graduation cap. Someday soon I'd like to graduate high school, and then later I'd like to graduate from college. Now, I've been researching colleges for the past 2 years. It's a long process. There's still a lot of difficult decisions to be made. Money is scary. I'm worried about paying for college. I'm worried that I won't have enough money to pay for where I want to go. I would love to go to the University of Vermont. Why? They have a lot of good programs. I'm not sure what I want to be when I grow up, so options is important to me. There's also the location. It's in Burlington, Vermont. Burlington's a bit like Ann Arbor. There's a lot of things to do there. It's also on Lake Champlain, so I can go sailing and kayaking and swimming whenever I want. There's mountains nearby. I can take a bus 20 minutes away and go skiing one afternoon and go hiking in the fall and in the spring. It also just felt right when I walked into campus. My next goal is to travel the world. Now, I've always wanted to travel. I want to go everywhere and see everything, to meet people who are nothing like me, to see into other cultures and maybe understand other people better. My next goal is to make a difference. After college, I'd like to join the Peace Corps, and from there, who knows? Maybe I'll be an environmental scientist and I'll make the world a greener place. Maybe I'll build schools in Africa. Or maybe I'll even bring peace to the Middle East. My next goal is to raise a family. Someday, I'd like to get married. Then have some kids. Maybe I'll adopt some in my international travels. The most important thing is to do as good a job as my parents did for me. So there you have it. My story. My beginnings from birth to middle school, the person I am today, and hopefully a hint of who I will become before the end of my book.